Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to get you styled up with Stitch Fix. Shopping's hard. It's hard. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist, though, who understands your style, your size, your budget, and they do all the shopping for you.
Wow.
This is excellent. Shopping, I'm telling you, shopping and figure out your style, it's overwhelming. Let somebody help you when it comes to getting dressed. We don't know what we're doing, so we let Stitch Fix help us out. A Stitch Fix stylist there. They know what works on us. We get the prices that make us look really good, and it feels good. You get some confidence boost walking around knowing that you're looking decent here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just give the stylist our sizes, style, budget preferences. We order boxes when we want, how we want, no subscription or any of that required. And they send called Just For Me pieces as well. Like, maybe you'd like this, and it's awesome. Outfit recommendations, styling tips. You keep what you love, you send back the rest. It's super easy.
Yep.
You can do it, and we are doing it because it's excellent. Personal styling for everyone. Get started today at stitchfix.com/STM. That's stitchfix.com/STM.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, you know? Just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. I had, for years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hi, I'm Ashley Flowers, and if you're like me and grew up watching America's Most Wanted and reading Nancy Drew, then hi, you're a crime junkie. And I bet that passion for solving mysteries never went away, which is why we've assembled a team of reporters to dig deep into all the cases we still obsess over. Each Monday, my best friend Britt and I will bring you a case that you won't be able to stop thinking and talking about. So join us by listening to Crime Junkie wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yeah, and choo-choo!
Ah, yay indeed, Jimmy, yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you all for joining us so much, all aboard the murder train, and this is a special episode. Episode 400 today we're celebrating. We are celebrating. We've been around a little bit here, and we're pumping them out. So 400.
The Quadcentennial.
That's right. It's the Quadcentennial. 400. We've been around 400 years, everybody. And it's still fresh. So lots of fun. We picked out, obviously, a wild one for this week because it's the 400th episode, so we got to go through it. And it's a wild episode, so we got to go through the top and the town stuff real quickly here.
Right.
Very quickly, shutupandgivememurder.com. August the 12th, Chicago. A lot of shows sold out around it, but August the 12th is the next show that's not sold out. After that, we have Dallas. Couple of tickets left in D.C., just about sold out. Philly, Atlanta, Charlotte. So get your tickets right now. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Patreon.com/CrimeInSports, where you get all of your bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get access to everything we put out bonus-wise. Whole back catalog, couple hundred episodes to binge on. New episodes every other week. One crime and sports, one small town murder, and you get access to it all. this week is no different. For crime and sports, we're going to talk about, well, this is fun, players who like to pay for sex.
There's a lot.
This is a lot, and it's fun. It's just funny to hear famous people caught in very embarrassing situations. It's hilarious, and we'll talk all about it. And then for small town murder, finally it's here. Lots of people been asking about it. We're going to talk about Casey Anthony.
Great.
Go through that whole mess and, wow, talk about the terrible documentary that came out recently and everything like that. That is patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of that, and you'll get a shout out at the end of the regular show as well. So that said, let's get right into this. Let's all sit back, everybody. I think it's time to sit back. Let's clear the lungs. We didn't start doing this in the very beginning, so it's not the 400th, but for the 300-somethingth time, let's all throw the arms to the air, everyone, and shout, "Shut up and give me murder." Let's do this, Jimmy. What do you say?
All right.
Let's go on a trip. All right.
We shall.
We shall. We're going to Utah. Let's do this. 400 in Utah, and this is Eureka, Utah, which I know there's a Eureka, California, but I didn't realize there's a Eureka. Anywhere where they found shit in the ground, I guess there's a Eureka probably, right?
Probably, yeah.
Anything, something shiny down there. It's Eureka.
Yeah.
That's what we call it. Now,
I think there's a Eureka, Arizona.
Probably. There's mines all over the place, so that wouldn't surprise me. This is a little over an hour to Salt Lake City, so it's about an hour 20. About 2 hours to our last Utah episode, which was Oakley, Utah. That was the crazy one with blood icicles.
Blood sickles,
with maybe the greatest father in the history of fatherhood there.
At least the toughest man I've ever heard of.
Yeah, just one of the craziest stories ever. Go back and listen to that. It was around like the holidays time, 6 months ago. Population of this town, 596.
Oh,
not many. That is tiny.
Very small.
Absolutely. Median household income here, about $45,000, which is less than the national average. Median home price, also less than the national average, $217,000. So it's a small, middle-of-nowhere Utah town. That's the best way to describe it. Motto here, though.
Oh, we got one.
They're expecting, this town's been around a long time, and it's not very big, okay? So you'd say this is what we have. Not them. They have a little more optimism. Quote, "A historic town with a bright future."
Why?
We're going to get 700 people here. Never mind 600. So this town, little history, was originally known as Ruby Hollow. And then it was a bustling mining town. That's why it's Eureka. It was a big mining town. They incorporated in 1892. It became the financial center for the Tintic, I guess it's called, Tintic, Tintic Mining District, which was a lot of gold and silver mining in this area. So,
not a bit of rubies.
No rubies. Ruby Hollow.
Ruby Hollow.
It was Ruby Hollow till they started mining. Then they changed it to Eureka because they found shit, you know? So, yeah, it was a wild thing. They had 4 big mines there. They called it the Big Four for a while. And it became, this place was like the middle of everything. Like businesses came here. The second ever JCPenney store was in Eureka, Utah.
Is what?
Second ever. It was called the Golden Rule store at the time, but it was that's JCPenney's chain. Second one.
How many people were there to have a fucking JCPenney?
It was lots of miners there. They needed to outfit these people. Yeah. And so it's amazing. They were the second one, and now there's only 2 left, so it's perfect. It was,
and theirs isn't one of them.
Theirs is not one of them.
Outfitting miners in Arizona jeans.
Take that. $12 jeans. In the early 1900s, their soccer was great here. Their I guess, high school soccer team, they won the state title in 1905, 1907, and 1909. Dominating.
They were jamming,
Dominating here. Now, Eureka was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1979 due to the mining stuff that's here. Notable people from here. One person from here. It's Frank Zamboni, who's the guy who made the Zamboni.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, the thing that comes out at a hockey game when they play in Havanagila and smooths the ice over, this guy invented it. And he's from here.
This place is fucking incredible.
Frankie Zamboni. Reviews of this town, there are none because there's only 600 people here, but here's one for the county that it's in. Juab County, I don't know, Juab. I don't know how the fuck you say that in Utah. I don't know if you do Spanish things in Utah or what. I don't know.
That's got to be native, right?
Maybe. I don't know. So 5 stars here. I love the small town feel. Actually, it's the small town fell is how they spell it. And the people in this area. It's still growing, so there's a lot of potential to the schools and jobs in the area. They really just live on optimism in this town.
Still
this area.
growing.
Still growing.
Only
Plenty of
600
room.
people.
Plenty of room.
What are we talking about?
Are we doing half full or half empty here, Jimmy? Let's look at the glass half full. There's lots of room for people to come. So therefore, room for growth.
Shitloads of half full.
Let's do it. So the things to do here, not too much, and it's all kind of based around the same shit. The Tintic Silver Festival takes place.
Okay.
It offers fun activities for the whole family, blah, blah, blah. There's a parade, crafts and foods, and an auction and a swap meet. And it just sounds like a flea market or like a county fair. It doesn't sound like any.
It's going to be the fastest parade in history. There's 600
There's 600 people. There it goes. All right, there they are. They're just wandering into the desert now, into the mountains. The mining museum will be open to all visitors that day. So,
okay.
Yay. And then there's the Silver City Ghost Town. It's about 2.5 miles south of Eureka, and there's a small town, or small sign marking the turnoff to Silver City. It was once a big mining town with 1,500 people. They first discovered silver here in 1869, and it was a big, rich silver mine. And then in 1890, the mines eventually hit water, and that was that. So they went,
oh, shit.
Screw this place, and it all faded out, and that was that. So,
So it's a ghost town. So if you want to see what Eureka's going to be, that's what we go do.
Yeah, according to this journalist, quote, not much of the town remains today besides a few old foundations, mine tailings, and some old mine equipment. As you explore this site, be very cautious of mine shafts. We were hiking on top of one of the old mine tailings pipes and discovered an air shaft that was very deep. So don't kill yourself when you're walking around looking at nothing.
Holy shit.
If we had not been paying attention to our surroundings, we could have easily fallen in. We're not sure if this shaft was one that they missed when most of the mines in the area were blocked, or if it opened back up due to erosion around the hole.
Awesome.
Wow. These mines are very dangerous, can contain bad air and shafts that may not be seen. If you do enter these mines, do so at your own risk. We've taken our kids to Silver City many times. It seems to have an air of nostalgia that they enjoy. If you don't lose them down a mine shaft, your kids are going to have a great time. Wow. All right, then. That said, let's get right into this because we got a lot of this today. Okay. Let's talk about a murder, Jimmy. Actually, more murder than one. This is one of the worst people we've talked about.
Eureka.
One of the most dangerous people we've ever talked about. We're going to talk about today on episode 400. The cruelty and this person is just one of these people where we go, God, we can't just disappear. We can't just say poof and have this person just like be a pile of ashes with his shoes under him. Like, God.
Or send him to the realm with the sandworms.
You know what I mean? Like, there's very few people that I just want to just lightning strike and, pile of ashes. Oh, look at that on top of his Nikes. That's very sad. This guy's one of them, though. It's one of those things. Like, you hate him like you hate BTK. You know, it's one of the, All right. Jared, Gerrod, like Mustaf, like we did the basketball player. Jared Baum, 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 whatever you want to say. Okay, this guy. Born in 1976.
Okay.
Fuck up from day one, from jump.
Really?
He's born to, his father wasn't around. His mother was an alcoholic teenager. So that says a lot
terrific.
for you right there.
Yeah, that's a good start.
That's a great start for him.
Yeah.
He's adopted by his grandparents. Billy and Maxine are their names. And they had a hard time with him. They just had a hard time with him. He was not tameable, really. Like, he just, from the very start, they had a hard time raising him. He got nothing but F's in school, nothing but failing grades. From elementary school, nothing but failing grades. Went to the next grade for social promotion, I guess, was the thing. You can't.
No kid left behind.
Well, you can't have a 12-year-old sitting in second grade. This isn't Billy Madison. It's just going to be weird at that point. He's probably going to steal their fucking cookies, and it's not going to work.
Yeah.
So they had a hard time with him, and in school he often shoved and fought with other children.
Okay,
and
he's a bully.
Daydreamed, drew, and talked about pretty much exclusively about guns.
What?
Which is, I get it. If you're a child in the 80s, let's say he's born in 76. Let's say you're 10 years old in 86. Yeah. What's out in the movies in 86? Rambo, Commando.
Yeah.
It's big, giant guys jacked up on steroids with machine guns in their hand running. Mm-hmm. So when I was a little kid, when I was like 8, because I'm a couple years younger than Jared Baum, but me and my cousin had a big, giant like thing on my grandmother's porch that we'd bring inside and take out that was all just toy guns, and we played gun shit all the time, and
just like a big vat of guns.
That's all you did, because that's what was out there at the time. You know, that was after my cousin had quit karate when he saw the Karate Kid.
But if you didn't have parents that would buy you like the brat guns,
none of those, none of the cool ones.
We had to make all those.
Oh, you know yeah.
So I'd have like Gatling hooks made of coat hangers that I would throw up on the house and try to climb.
That's awesome.
Like,
that sounds fun.
Never worked.
No, you're just gonna fall. You get one step, poof, onto the ground. Yeah,
and I'd have like things made into guns, like toilet paper, not toilet paper, the paper towel roll.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You make that into a gun.
My cousin had like cool fucking guns. Jesse had like Entertech guns and shit, or like they were like
the lasers and shit.
They were badass. The ones that were like the water guns that looked real, they were like battery powered. They go like those. He had those, dude. It was crazy. I was like, wow,
what the fuck?
I got to play with them. They were awesome.
I can't imagine. The kid across the street had laser tag, and I lost my fucking mind.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't know.
I was like, you rich motherfucker.
Yeah, how dare you have electronics, you son of a bitch.
Your mom bought this?
Wow,
how'd you steal this?
How'd you get this?
If I got it to be stolen from Goodwill and it wouldn't work.
Totally broken immediately. So Jared Baum here, his first arrest comes at 10.
What?
Now, dude, that's whoever's watching this kid, that's their fault. At 10, you can physically take a kid and put him somewhere and go, you fucking stay there.
Don't move.
At 10, you can do that. Yeah. Once the kid's 16, they go to school, they come back, they get in a fucking car with one of their friends. They can go anywhere. You never know. Yeah. They can defy you. At 10, they can't defy you.
Right.
They go from your custody to school to someone else's custody and then back to you again, and you can do whatever you want with them. They have no autonomy. They don't have any money. What are they going to do?
Yeah. But he's also got, his mom was a teenage alcoholic. He's probably got some alcohol-related injuries to the brain,
that's right? That's possible. He could have some fetal alcohol syndrome. I'm not sure. But the arrest, not for, if you figure 10, he shoplifted a candy bar, and it's like the 5th time they caught him, so they're going to try to teach him a lesson.
Wrote on something.
No, he shot another boy with a handgun.
A real gun?
A gun. Yeah, not a BB gun. He shot another boy with a handgun at 10.
Holy.
Yeah, so they were like, well, he's 10, so we don't know what to do with him, so they just put him in juvenile detention for a while, which just was like a good crime school for him, essentially. He just like learned from older kids and got more pissed off, and it was good for him. Yeah. So then when he gets out, he turns to stealing shit, becomes his racket at that point. Sure. He didn't even need to do it. That's the thing. Didn't do drugs at the time. Drugs weren't an issue. Wasn't like supporting a habit. Wasn't in a gang or anything like that.
He has a home. He's fed.
Yeah, just him and a couple of friends thought it was fun to steal shit.
Yeah.
I mean, they liked it.
Jesus.
And his grandparents say they admit they spoiled him and doted on him because they felt bad for him because, mom was a teenage alcoholic who wasn't around and dad is God knows where. So
there is the entitlement aspect, too, that if you got everything given to you, then maybe he just expects that this shit's his?
Possibly, but it's more like I can get away with it because there's no consequences at home because my grandparents go like, oh, the poor little Jared, he's troubled, and then that's...
His mom's on the bottle.
Mainly what it is. He thought crime was fun. It was like a sport. Jesus. It was a sport, basically. He said I was mainly out to get high on an adrenaline rush. He said it was not to hurt people, just to get away with it, the crime itself. That's what he said about being a child and doing all this. So it was mainly just for kicks.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of kids do, other things, physical activities and things for kicks, and his is, let's steal shit, it's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, from the time of these 10 up until October of 1991, which is when he turns 15, he racks up 43 convictions for crimes.
Till what age?
From 10 to 15, he racks up 43.
43.
Not arrests. Convictions. That is
Wow.
Mike Tyson childhood level of crazy.
It's one a month.
That's insane. That's fucking nuts to have that. That's wild. And nothing would do anything. They'd put him in juvie. He'd get out. He'd do it the next day. He'd be stealing again. They'd, give him like a probation officer to look over him. He'd do it anyway. There's just no stopping him.
Wherever he's at, he's doing something bad.
He's doing something. And that comes to a head in October of 1991. For his 15th birthday, he's got to celebrate. You got to blow it out big for the big ones, those.
Oh, it's 15.
On the fives? Come on, man. Those are big, all of them.
Yeah.
He goes on to celebrate a 3-day crime spree to celebrate. That's
3 days.
3 days of crime, of going around stealing shit, robbing people, just stealing cars, breaking into houses.
Really?
Robbing stores, just whatever. 3 days of crime.
Fascinating.
15th birthday. He had been absent without permission for the third time from Project Ascent, which is the youth home he was placed in by the court.
Yeah.
No, anytime there's a project and it's anything like getting better, going up in the world, hope, ascent, any of that shit, that's a lot of kids who have very little hope and they're not going to ascent very far.
Project Promise or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
usually a bad sign. It's a youth home that's kind of. It's kind of like a kiddie halfway house, from what I understand back then.
Try to get them back on track so that they don't go to prison.
Sort of. Well, he walked away from an appointment he had with a Provo therapist and then just went out and did shit for the next 3 days. Stole cars, stole guns, robbed a Burger King.
Oh, boy.
We'll talk about it. But he said he had to. Quote, "As soon as I walk in a place I'm robbing, my adrenaline blows up." Yeah, he's jacked about it.
Jesus.
He says, when it's over, that high goes on for a couple of days, and I wonder what it would be like to do it again.
Well, you already know. You've done it.
Jesus Christ, man. That is a disturbing thing. So he uses a handgun to rob an Orem, Utah Burger King restaurant.
Oh, boy.
Then, as employees chase him out and he flees in a stolen pickup truck, he fires his gun at the employees as he's driving away out the window like a fucking cowboy or some shit of his stolen
15-year-old kid.
15 years old. Not old enough to drive.
Nope.
Car stolen anyway. Stolen gun, shooting at Burger King employees who he just robbed. He is
Jesse James.
Out of control as it gets here. So he doesn't hit any of them, thankfully, for them.
15.
Well, he's just kind of firing out of the window, out of the back as he's driving. Right. It's hard to drive and shoot, the other direction. Yeah. So by 7 a.m., this really draws the attention of the cops. The stealing and everything, they come and take a report when you steal some shit. But when you're firing from a moving stolen car at some Burger King employees that you just robbed in broad daylight, that'll, tends to get the attention of the police a little bit.
They don't need to call. They hear the gunshot.
It's a big deal. And the alarm going off from the Burger King. Right. So by 7 a.m., he gets arrested. And how he gets arrested... a police officer trainee, a recent academy graduate that they let like on the street just to, I don't know, on the job training, I guess. He pulled over the stolen pickup, and when the officer was approaching, I guess Baum got out and grabbed for his gun, but was fumbling with his gun. So the officer ran over and grabbed him and got the gun out of his hand. He was trying to shoot the cop. That's what he was trying to do. He took the gun out and tried to shoot him.
15 years old, he's going to kill a cop.
He's going to kill a cop while fleeing a Burger King robbery in a stolen vehicle. With a stolen gun, too, of course, obviously. Yeah. So that is a lot right there, man.
That will, if you're 35, that crime alone gets you the death penalty.
Oh, fuck. If you killed somebody, if he killed that cop there, that's definition of the death penalty right there. Mm-hmm. Done. I mean, they wouldn't even think, especially in like a Utah or something, they wouldn't think twice about that probably. No. So he is charged with second-degree thefts of a motor vehicle, second-degree thefts of firearm, second- and third-degree burglary, third-degree theft, Class A misdemeanor theft, and first-degree burglary and first-degree attempted murder.
Yeah.
Those are the first-degree aggravated burglary and the attempted murder are very bad. Those are hardcore felonies right there. Mm-hmm. So he's also 15 and not that bright. So here's what he does.
Unbelievable that he's already here.
It's wild. So the cops are talking to him. By the way, they don't fucking Mirandize him at all.
Really?
At first they do, but then they take him to jail, and they Mirandize him then when they arrest him. But then later on that day, they pull him out of jail, and they're like, we want to talk to you, young man.
Yeah.
You admit what you did. And he's like, okay, I will. And they say, good, you're going to get in the car, and we're going to drive around. You're going to show us everywhere you robbed, what you stole. We're going to do all of this shit, okay?
Yeah.
And he said, okay. So they put him in the car, no Mirandas, nothing. In the car, take him out for a little joyride. No attorney. No parents, no grandparents, nothing. Perfect. 15 years old. So
Great.
They drive him around Provo and Orem, and he's pointing out where he did shit. I stole from that house. I stole shit from there. And the one cop said, quote, he was euphoric in recalling these events. Like he was like, oh, when I went in there, this happened. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
He admitted
that's where I got the gun.
Yeah, well, he admitted having a gun during the burglary of a home, and they said, well, what were you going to do if people were there and confronted you? And he said, I would have shot him, obviously. He tells the cops this, like, oh, well, I would have obviously shot them in their own home while I was robbing it. How dare they interrupt my robbing?
Oh.
So the problem is now, is his confession going to be admissible in court?
Sure doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, so they said that they can't be used in his trial. Obviously, he's charged with 11 felonies and some misdemeanors. He's pretty fucked, but they have to have a parent present for interviews, also applied to bomb. They said the rule is that children under 14 have to have a parent present, which I think now that's 18, probably. But at the time it was 14, but they said it also would apply to bomb because any file you look at on him, it says that he is way immature, he's this, he's that.
Yeah.
He goes under that. So the judge throws out the confessions made in the police car because they didn't read him his Miranda rights and all of that kind of thing. So he's still pretty fucked, though. I mean, they don't need the confessions.
Yeah,
He got
They've
caught
got witnesses. Yeah.
with a stolen gun. Burger King employees going, I was dodging a hail of gunfire coming from that stolen vehicle with the teenager there. So he decides all he can do is plea. Mm-hmm. So they have to, they certify him as an adult there. Though he's now an adult. They're going to try him as an adult, and they find him competent to proceed. The judge said he was reluctant to accept a plea from Baum until he was satisfied that Baum had adequate time to discuss the matter with his family and his attorney. He said that seems pretty quick. This kid just wants to make a plea, but he wants to plead guilty to second-degree vehicle theft, second-degree theft of a firearm, and third-degree burglary. That's what they want.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And also to first-degree attempted aggravated murder. They also want him to plead to that as well.
Sure.
So he spends time in jail as the attorneys are working on this. He ends up, they let him plead guilty to what we just described here. And at first he didn't know if he wanted to plead guilty to the attempted murder charge, but they talked him into it, essentially here. So where are they going to send him?
Great question.
To prison? I mean, he's 15.
The moon?
So, yeah, the moon, to sandworm place, maybe? That would be good. So the judge orders him to remain in the county jail so he can basically figure it out. They have someone from adult probation and parole. They want to talk to him, obtain necessary information, and prepare pre-sentence reports to figure out what the hell's going on. He'll be taken to a diagnostic unit at the prison for evaluation.
Yeah.
They don't know where to put a 15-year-old in.
What do you do?
Maximum security prison. So the judge says, quote, the problem here is we have a youthful offender, but a very, very violent offender. So do you want to put him around other children also?
Right. You don't want to put him because he's going to be the baddest dude there. You don't want to put him with the other ones because they're going to make him the baddest dude ever.
He's a true tweener. He really is. Yeah. This is the definition of a tweener. This is how it goes. So. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News & World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, Believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro-laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently. Wherever your problem areas are, tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Very, very in the middle.
Now, the arguments are the prison evaluator said, quote, he becomes emotionally charged when he's involved with illegal acts. He really does not consider the consequences of what he does.
Right.
That's not good for society. So they also said that his defense, though, his attorney said that he belongs in a juvenile facility, not an adult prison. He said, quote, I'm concerned about sending a boy to prison. I think we'll end up with something far worse.
Right.
And
you worry about everybody else's safety in the child home, but you got to worry about his in the other one. And then when he's out, everybody else's.
Oh, this is a discussion we have all the time. We've been talking about this for 40 years of what do you do with kids in this situation. We have one that says one thing. We have them that says, I think we'll end up with something far worse. We get to find out what happens. That's the good news. That was 30 years ago. So now we get to see the this is a long-term study here. And now we're going to see the results of it. So his father here, somehow his father got back into the picture. His father, Billy Baum, he said he talked to people at the prison's diagnostic center where he had been since December, the son, and he said that they told him that his boy isn't dangerous. Not dangerous at all. Yeah, said he's good. He's good. His defense attorney said that maybe if we give him intensely supervised probation, maybe that would be the better way to do it. Maybe we don't put him anywhere. Maybe that would be good. He said the boy could work with his father. His father's got a job for him lined up.
Yeah.
He'll be kept real busy, and then he should be fine. You know, he said that he's done very well in jail, except for some incidents early in the incarceration. Right. But, you know, who doesn't have a bunch of prison infractions? Other than that, though, he's been a good prisoner. Let's just say, you know, maybe next time for this guy.
We're going to get him a job, and he'll be a welder.
He'll be fine. Then he'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, he'll never fuck with anything again. So the county attorney said, well, in the last 17 months he's been behind bars. He's had a shitload of problems, all sorts of infractions, all sorts of stuff like that. He said that the county attorney said that Baum thought he had shot the clerks at Burger King. Like, when he talked to the cops, he's like, I killed those guys at Burger King. And they were like, lucky for you didn't hit those guys at Burger King. But he thought he shot them. He was like...
So that's why he was going to kill the cop, because he's like, I have no choice.
Yeah, that's it. So why not? He said he intended to shoot, and then they asked him about the cadets that pulled him over. He said, I was definitely going to shoot them. The guy got me before I could.
That makes him even more dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I mean. That's what the attorney's trying to say is this guy thought he killed Burger King employees and was perfectly happy to kill two cops. And we're going to say probation horrifying on this guy. Yeah. So the judge said he was convinced that if Baum were released, he would probably obtain a gun and harm someone within a week. He said, you'll be back within a week if I let you out for something, and I'll feel terrible. He said, you've admitted that you planned to shoot people in their own home that you broke into, Burger King employees and police officers. So
that's everybody.
That pretty much runs the gamut. From cops to Burger King employees to you sleeping in your bed. It doesn't fucking matter. So they said he actually fired at those people. The judge said if he had the opportunity, he would take it. And he said the judge said it's his responsibility to try to protect the community. And he said if he places him with juvenile inmates, it will place every child there at risk if I put this guy with other kids. So the judge is thinking here, this Judge Lynn W. Davis said prison is the only option for him. And he said, quote, it's a painful day to sentence a 16-year-old boy on attempted murder and other felonies, but his duty to protect society made it necessary. He said that, quote, until the fantasies of violence can be controlled, he will always pose a threat to our community.
Yes.
You, sir, may fuck off. He ends up, in the end, getting 5 years to life on the aggravated murder.
It's a good window, but that
aggravated
means,
attempted murder.
Yeah, but that means we can keep an eye on him, and we can judge based on parole boards whether or not he needs to be if he's rehabilitated.
See how long. And this also, the law requires a 1-year enhancement because a gun was involved. So it's 6 years to life. The 1 year has to run consecutively to the original sentence. Also ordered 1 to 15 years on the other ones, and all these different charges that are all concurrent, though. So it's 6 to life. The judge said he would recommend credit for time served, which is 17 months. It's a long time, which, he said may or may not be accepted by the parole board in their considerations at that point when he goes for parole. So, he's going to prison. He, by the way, the Utah has a list of worst youthful offenders, like their top they have a top, literally a top 10 list of the worst kids in Utah.
Awesome.
Which is pretty awesome. Baum is 5th on that list, by the way. So
there are four others?
4 other youths, as they say in My Cousin Vinny, that are worse than him according to the law here.
Oh, my God.
Among the top 10 young men here, they have 180 convictions among them, including 69 sex crimes.
Averaging almost 7 sex crimes each.
Yep. They have a list of Utah's 5,000 worst youthful offenders, and he's number 5 on the list. Top 1%, baby. Top 0.01%. Or 0.1%.
Holy shit.
So, they said that it compiles criminal histories to determine how to best combat repeat offenders. They said, one says, quote, the kids on this list are the ones who are the most dangerous to the public. The report will help us determine whether we're putting the right kids in the right places. Prison. He said, right? Another one who, the director of youth support services, said, if you tell a kid he will rot in hell for doing something wrong, it won't work. These kids think they're immortal. They act without thinking.
Okay. So
yeah, okay. Agree with that.
What's the alternative? Like,
that's the thing.
He's doing the give a man a fish, teach a man to fish thing.
Yeah.
But he's giving no alternative.
This is teach a man to kill and he'll kill forever. This is, you know what I mean? Teach a man to do crime. So his probation officer said that they always hear bravado from these kids. They said, quote, for some, getting caught is part of the excitement. When you sit down and talk with them, you can see the excitement in their eyes. And once they start committing crimes, no matter how small, they feel a need to continue. So once he gets to prison, he immediately gets some white power tattoos all over him.
Really?
Oh, right away. Well, wait till you know this guy, actually. You don't know you know him, but you fucking know him because you've seen him on camera before. I know for a fact because we talked about it. So he gets a tattoo. He joined. I know it just clicked for you.
Yeah.
He joins older inmates in a bunch of prison disturbances. He gets into prison. He's in the Aryan Brotherhood, is what he is.
He's a riot starter.
Yep.
Yeah.
He results in 315 days in punitive isolation. So he's in the hole for 315 days with 30 discipline violations, like right off the bat, 315 days. That's a year, basically.
Yeah.
Baum told one guy at the parole board hearing later on, quote, when one of us would go off, we would all go off. I told all these guys to cut me loose. I don't want to get in trouble no more. They don't care if they ever get out. That's he told the parole.
What does that mean? He wants out of it?
He told the parole board, I told them I don't run with them anymore, and they don't care if they ever get out, and I want to have a future here. So that's what he said. So I don't hang out with these guys, which is a load of shit, as we'll find out. They said they would schedule a rehearing and all this shit. The guy who ran the hearing said, quote, in my 30 years in this business, I don't know when I've read a file that's more troubling. You've got to learn how to interact with people. If you don't do that, you'll never get out of here, he told Baum.
Yeah.
So here we go. He says, here's an article on dangerous youth in Utah, and they talk about ones that are in prison. So they talk to Baum, obviously. He says, well, maybe stricter punishments would keep us from fucking up. That's what he says in the paper. I don't know how, though. He was put in the
paper.
What do you do? Put a 10-year-old in adult prison? Is that right. That's not a punishment you can do.
You want us to take fingers? What do you
yeah,
want us to do?
I don't know. He said that threats by judges and counselors and probation officers had little impact on him and his criminal career. Mm-hmm. But you assume that most kids aren't like full-grown psychopaths by the time they're 12. You hope, anyway, you hope. Yeah. They said you have to grow up sometime. This is Baum talking here. You have to grow up sometime because you won't have much of a chance later. You think you have to think about the time when you're 22 years old and sick of getting in trouble. It's time to settle down and get married, but you're already in prison.
Yeah.
Jesus. July 8th, 1994, him and his buddies set off a prison riot. You've seen the footage because there's a documentary, it's probably still on Max because all the documentaries are on there, called Anatomy of a Prison Riot is the name of it. And the guy who is seen murdering someone dead fucking center on the camera, he's doing it to the camera. I mean, he's not hiding it, is a guy named Troy Kell. Remember that? He's the guy who's, you watch him stab someone 67 fucking times on camera while no one intervenes, even though all the fucking people see it. And he's screaming white power the whole time. Yeah. That's that guy.
Oh, it's so vicious. The knife gets stuck.
Yeah, he stabbed the guy 67 times. That Troy Kell ended up being put on death row for that. The murder was of a man named Lonnie Blackman, who was a black man, obviously. Right. So they killed him. Blackman was walking to the prison's medical facility when 3 inmates attacked him with the shank, stabbed him shitloads of times, as seen in the video.
They made him go to the infirmary. They created an appointment for him. He didn't even need any doctor attention. They created an appointment for him. They told him, you're going to the infirmary. He's like, what do I got to go there for? They're like, you got an appointment. So then he started walking there, and they got him.
That's how it works. Yeah. If you ever watch Oz, a lot of times there's the prison guards are friends with some of these guys. So they said he bled to death within minutes. They said likely they'll have filed charges against other people. It turns out, though, they said the inmates Jared Baum, Eric Daniels, Stephen Ormiston, Ray Payne, and Nicholas Yazzie are going to plead guilty to inciting the riot. So he ends up pleading guilty to inciting this riot. As we'll find out, he actually, more than that, he was the guy who gave Shell the shank. Gave Kell the shank. Right? Yeah, he's the shank procurer. So he did way more than that. We'll find out later on. So by 2001, so he's already convicted for that. This is not looking great. You know what I mean? No. The guy, I believe, Blackman, was arrested, and this time he was put in jail was for a $40 gas station robbery.
Yeah. It wasn't even.
Not even as many as stab wounds as he got. $40. So 2001. Baum by then has been disciplined for possession of contraband, specifically possessing a tattoo gun and ink. Oh, Jesus. He's the guy he's doing tats. In 2001, while he was being housed in a Missouri state prison, they sent him over there, a jar of black ink, a homemade tattoo gun, complete with motor and 2 AA batteries, was found during a search of his cell. Yep. In 2002, while talking in an interview with adult probation and parole, he claimed that he was, at a time, quote, working for local drug dealers collecting taxes, meaning he was collecting money, beating the shit out of people. He admitted several assaults in the Utah County area and one in Cedar City, and he stated that he had represented himself as a hitman named Chris from California to help secure debts that are owed to local drug dealers. He stated he has threatened and intimidated numerous people.
Unreal.
A little more piece of his past here. In December of 2008, Grandma Maxine dies on him here, so that's tough. I don't know when exactly he gets out of prison. Sometime between in the aughts here, he gets out of jail.
That guy got out of jail.
He was out of prison. Don't worry about that. Yeah, he's good.
Holy.
December 29, 2017. Braylene Otteson, she's 17 years old. Nickname, they call her Breezy. That's her name, Breezy Otteson. Okay, they say she's outspoken, and she's like a spunky teenage girl. Her mother died a few years ago in a car crash, and she's been kind of not, she's been struggling with that for a while. Sure. That's an issue for her, obviously.
That's not easy to get over.
No, absolutely not. She found though a boyfriend, and she feels good with this guy, and she's happy. A guy named Riley Powell, who's 18 years old.
Okay.
At least her age. Okay. Her aunt said he was a nice kid, Riley. They went to Thanksgiving. They had been together and over Thanksgiving holiday here of 2017. She had told the family that she might be pregnant at 17. So that's interesting. The aunt said she struggled with that affection. She struggled with feeling that people loved her, and the same with Riley. I think they both wanted to be loved. So she said they kind of found each other. And Powell has had his own problems, Riley Powell. He was sent to a boys' home after he brought a gun to high school at one point.
What is it?
He said he was going rabbit hunting after school. That's the only reason why he had it there. But he got sent to another school. He ended up changing schools. He graduated. He ends up working as a plumber. So right now he's 18. He's a plumber.
Okay.
That's a career. It's a lot when you're 18. Let's learn pipes.
And that's real.
That's real. That's a real fucking job. That's tough at 18. So this couple, they're living together right now in December of 2017. They live with Riley Powell's father in Eureka, Utah. And that's the town we've talked about, obviously. So he's kind of a thick, stout kind of a guy, Riley. Yeah. He's got like glasses and a goatee. And he likes to play basketball.
Very northern Utah.
But no, yeah. He likes to play basketball. He likes to go like off-road riding and stuff like that. He's a normal kid, basically, except that he's a plumber. See, at one point, Riley had dated a young lady named Morgan Henderson. Okay. That was his ex-girlfriend, and she'll come back into play here into this whole thing. So the night of December 29th, 2017, Riley and Breezy, they leave Toole, Utah. That's how you say that, right?
Toole,
I guess. Is it Toole?
T-H-U-L-E?
No. T-O-O-E-L-E. I think that's Toole.
That's Toole.
Yeah.
That's Peter O'Toole.
Peter O'Toole. So they're going home to Eureka. They leave Toole, where they were visiting some of her family. They make a stop in Spanish Fork, and they're going to obviously home to Eureka. Yeah. There they visit a woman named Morgan Henderson, who is Riley's. She's older, too. She's like 10, 12 years older than him. But apparently they used to go out here. So this is in Mammoth, Utah. They stop off to visit her. Okay. Morgan Lewis Henderson. Later on, she'll go by Morgan Lewis. I don't know if Henderson was a married name she dropped or whatever. But they had remained friends after they broke up, Morgan and Riley. And they made plans. They ran into each other at a gas station, of all places, and spoke over Facebook Messenger, and they made plans that Riley and Breezy should stop by her house on the way home, and they'll hang out and smoke some weed and stuff for a while and chill.
All right,
sounds good, right? Not bad. So come on by. Breezy and Riley were doing Christmas shit with her family, and now they're going to stop off, smoke some weed, and head on back home to Eureka. He's doing some real
30-year-old shit.
Yeah.
His plumber job banging a 30-year-old woman. That's fascinating.
He thinks he's 30, I think. He thinks he's like...
He's an old soul, this boy.
I tell you what, boy, I'm worried about my 401k is what I'm worried about, because this damn stock market isn't... It's just not the same bull market that it was last year, and I'm a little worried about it.
18 years old with bad lower back.
My knee is just... You hear that click? You hear that click? I love when an older guy will try to show you his clicks, and listen to that right there. You hear that? That's not good, right?
I can sure feel it.
I guess not. So this Henderson here, she decided, come on over, and Riley and Breezy said, what the fuck? Why not? We'll stop by and say hi and smoke some weed. That sounds fun. Let's do it. So they stop by the house to visit with Morgan, and the problem is Morgan's got a boyfriend. He's not home, though. That's why she said to stop by, because, he's not even here, so it'll be cool. The problem also is that her boyfriend is Jared Baum.
Jared Baum is her boyfriend.
Is her boyfriend.
And her ex-boyfriend, who is so much younger, is coming by. So Morgan said she knew that Jared Baum would not approve, but he wasn't going to be there. And somehow, though, she said that Baum found out that they were going to come over that night. And so he came home and was fucking furious, livid. What the hell?
Came in the door, house afire, man, pissed off as shit, ready to rock and roll, super mad.
Why?
He told her that he warned her about having male friends over. He said, quote, I told you couldn't have guy friends.
Real secure fella.
Yeah. There's a difference between I told you can't have guys over and I told you can't have male friends. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm allowed.
Different conversations.
Yeah, I'm allowed to have like women friends, but I can't be like, yeah, come on over. That's not cool. I don't think anybody would like that. You know, that would be bad. You can't do that.
But ex-girlfriend coming over
not
with her
good.
boyfriend,
Never.
That's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's
but
weird.
Still, Morgan at that point said, quote, I knew I was in big trouble. Yeah, I guess so. He was angry, and I knew he knew what I did. I knew that this was really bad, and I didn't know how it was going to happen or what to do. So he came home, and she was like, oh, fuck, it's on. Shit. And so
I guess you jump on Instant Messenger and be like, I made a mistake. My boyfriend's a lunatic, right?
Yeah, no, they're already there. He just burst in the door with everyone there,
shit.
sitting in the living room smoking weed, and here comes Jared. I told you can't have guys over. Who the fuck is this? And all this shit. That's what's going on. So it's a terrifying scene. This is a guy who, you know, we know his past.
Dude, I'm so sorry. We didn't know you'd be upset. We got to go.
Yeah, he's a guy who hands a man a shank who then stabs someone 67 times while screaming white power into a camera. Like, this is a crazy person. So January 2nd, 2 days later, 3 days later, Breezy and Riley are reported missing by their families.
Oh, no.
No one's heard from them in a few days here. So January 9th comes around, and detectives figure out the path of where Riley and Breezy went, and they also look at the Facebook accounts. Now they're looking at social media to see if maybe they can find it out. So they go over to Baum and Henderson's house, here to Morgan and Jared's house, and they say, were the teens here? And they say, shit, I don't know. We heard that Riley got into a fight with somebody in town on New Year's Eve. They did stop by. They were hanging out, and then on New Year's Eve, we didn't see him anymore because we heard he got in a fight in town, and then he was gone. Don't know.
This is what we heard.
That's the rumor. So,
all right.
January 11th, 2 days later, Riley Powell's Jeep is found. Actually, I think it's a Chevy pickup, actually. They call it a Jeep because it's sometimes people call trucks Jeeps for some reason. All trucks. It's weird. So it was found about a mile south of the Cherry Creek Reservoir, hidden by some trees with 2 slashed tires.
That doesn't...
It's a bad sign.
That's not how you park your truck.
Darling, let's leave my car here. We'll slash the tires and cover it in trees and just run away together. That's not...
Nobody will steal it.
Nope. It's good right here. It's found there. January 15th, 2018, a search warrant is served at Riley Powell's mother's home. They release a statement. The police says the condition and location of the truck is highly suspicious and foul play is strongly suggested, they said. Yeah. January 25th, they interview Morgan Henderson. The police do. She claimed the teens never visited her that night. Now, they said, they never came here. They said they were coming, but they didn't come.
Now, she's saying she's never seen the kids.
Yeah, but then they go, look, you said this. It's on the messenger. So finally she goes, okay, fine. They were here, but I don't know nothing about it. They left, and I don't know what happened to them. They left New Year's Eve, never saw them after that again. They go back to that story. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right. Let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going. Look good out there. And you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable. And you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad.
Right.
There's chemicals and things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up. For energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it, and get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Calling all dog owners. Your furry friend deserves top-notch nourishment, and Ollie delivers the clean, fresh nutrition your dog needs in 5 flavors they'll absolutely flip over. Ollie is made in U.S. kitchens with ingredients carefully sourced from trusted growers and producers around the world, with absolutely no harmful fillers or preservatives. With protein-first recipes like fresh beef with sweet potatoes, fresh turkey with blueberries, or fresh lamb with cranberries, you might start thinking, dang, my dog eats better than I do. And that's probably true when it comes to Ollie. Give your pup a fresh start this new year by letting them taste test a personalized meal plan with Ollie. Head to ollie.com/Wondery. Tell them all about your dog and use code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box of meals when you subscribe today. Plus, they offer a clean bowl guarantee on the first box. So if you're not completely satisfied, you'll get your money back. That's OLLIE.com/Wondery and enter code WONDERY to get 60% off your first box. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie. Start your dog's new year off right with Ollie.
March 25th, 2018. Morgan Henderson is speeding and gets pulled over. She is arrested for drug and weapons charges because she has drugs and weapons on her.
Oh, shit.
Okay. So they get her inside the police station, and she'll describe it later as this, quote, "I had tremendous guilt. I felt responsible," she said, but she didn't. She felt terrible about the kids, but she said she didn't want to tell the truth because she has a son, and she thought Jared would kill her son or have somebody kill her son if she said anything. So she said suicide seemed like the better option. I'll just kill myself, take myself out of the equation. My son will be protected. Everything's fine. Okay? So she said that she was going to take a shitload of mushrooms. Her plan was to go into the mountain, take a shitload of mushrooms, and kill herself. But she got pulled over for speeding on the way there. She was real anxious to do this. She had a bunch of mushrooms that she was planning on eating and the weapon that she was planning on killing herself with. That's how she got arrested.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think mushrooms can do that, can they?
No. Then she was going to get trip in the mountains and blow her brains out, I guess, so she would feel it less or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So
at least it'd be fun.
Then they sit her down and she goes, okay, the one detective said, the truth will set you free. And she said, all right, here's what happened. The kids were here. Jared came home, said, I told you couldn't have guy friends. She said that she thought he was going to start like punching Riley, but instead he acted real calm and he calmly put a fleece jacket on, or pulled a fleece jacket of hers from the closet. And he also got some thin black gloves that he put on. Okay. Morgan said she could feel violence in the air as Baum told them to get outside and come outside. So the whole company move outside. Okay, she said something was wrong at that point. He had taken the 2 kids outside and she had stayed in the house for a minute. And then he went and got her and said, you're coming with us too here. So she said when she came out, she could feel violence in the air. She knew something was wrong. And she said she could see 2 people in the back cargo area bound with duct tape.
What the fuck?
She said he went to the back of the car of the Jeep. I guess it was a Jeep. I'm sorry. The back of the car of the Jeep, and I could see that Riley and Breezy were tied up. He bound their hands and feet with duct tape and their mouths as well. Duct taped their mouths and placed them in the Jeep. Baum then told Henderson, Morgan here, get in the fucking front seat. We're going. Okay.
I don't understand why.
At some point here, when the tape was off, the tape was off her mouth. Breezy said, "Can you please untie me? I'm pregnant," is what she said. She's trying to, make something, reason with him. Now, Morgan said, quote, his anger completely turned off and he was charming, talking about Jared. Totally not mad anymore. He's like, oh, sorry about that. She said that Baum apologized for the inconvenience and said, don't worry, we're almost there. Don't worry about it. I apologize. Sorry. He got real charming, she said. So he drives the truck east and arrives at the foot of a cliff, is what Morgan said, where he joked he got the couple out of the car, got Breezy and Riley out, and he was joking with them and just acting real casual and, hey, hey, look at this and that and all that sort of thing. Morgan said she was increasingly afraid and found it difficult to swallow at this point. Now she said that the girl, Breezy, asked to be untied and said, I said I was pregnant. Can you untie me? Right. And he replied, quote, we're almost there. Okay. So they stop in front of a mine shaft that's wide enough for a car.
Yeah.
It's 2,000 feet deep.
Whoa.
Yeah. Morgan said, quote, I didn't know why he was there, and I didn't know why they were in the back of the car. I felt very disoriented. I felt scared. It was kind of dreamlike.
You know why?
So he while he's leading them to the mine, at one point he actually congratulates them on her pregnancy. Hey, congratulations, guys. That's great. So, by the way, we'll find out later that she isn't pregnant, Breezy. She thought she was, but she's not. Yeah. So Baum then forces Morgan and Breezy to go down to their knees and sit down on their knees. Morgan called it execution style, is what she called it, so they can witness what he's going to do to Riley, which is beat him for a while and then repeatedly fucking stab him.
What the shit?
While he's tied up. Then he throws him over the edge of the mine shaft and it says, goodbye, Riley, and waves at him. Yeah, that's what he did. I don't know what to say about that.
I don't understand how we got here.
There is no reason why we're here. Lightning, poof, pile of ashes. What the fuck?
Holy.
So Morgan said, quote, he had this huge grin on his face like he was enjoying himself, and he was. Later, he laughed about it.
Oh, my word.
She said, obviously, she was frightened, Morgan. She said before he dumped Riley over the mine shaft, she said, I heard Riley say, I'm dying, and he was gurgling, and that's when I realized he wasn't hurting Riley, he was stabbing Riley. It was the most horrible thing I've ever heard.
I'll bet.
Now, Breezy, he turns to her, to Addison, and she says, I promise I won't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Just fucking don't do anything to me here. He said, it's okay, darling. And then cradled her body, as well, the way Morgan said, kind of held her a little bit and slit her throat.
Yep.
Morgan said, and it seemed like he had his arms around her, but I'm not sure. And he said, it's okay, Braylon. And then she went, shh. And then he went, shh, to her. And I felt warmth on my leg. It was her blood.
Oh, my
right
God.
next to her. And then he threw her in the mine, too.
Oh, my word.
She said, quote, he said on the way home, quote, like lambs to the slaughter. They didn't even fight.
No, because they're terrified of you.
And then he said, this is your fucking fault. They're dead. That's on you. You had them over the house.
Have people over now?
They'd be fine if it wasn't for your stupid ass. So,
oh, boy.
She said he looked manic. He looked high. He looked overjoyed. He said, the next time I start crying about stupid Riley, I need to think about my little boy and whether I want him to grow up. Wow. He said, quote, that he made Riley suffer, but that he felt bad about Braylon, so he made her death quick and painless. Because she had nothing to fucking, there's no reason to kill her. She's a 17-year-old kid with no reason to die.
And what? He's mentally ill. He thinks that's painless?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
He thinks he was kind. He was being a kind person.
Fast? That's not fast.
No. You still have to bleed to death. So Wow. She said that at that point, Jared Baum bleached and burned the clothes they were wearing after this, and that was that. Now, by March 27th, though, she's leading them to the mine. This is the Tintic Standard Mine. Yeah. And she's leading, it's an abandoned mine in a remote area. Using a camera they put down the mine shaft, they found Breezy and Riley about 100 feet down, I guess on a ledge or something. They fell.
Oh, God, that's so far.
They both had their hands tied behind their backs and appeared to have stab wounds, is what the police said, but we know what happened. Wow. Her aunt, Breezy's aunt, said, "We had every scenario run through our head, but for the events that truly took place, words can't even describe it." No.
They didn't have that one, huh?
Shit, not that one. That's not.
How would you ever get there?
It's not on my list, everybody. No. I didn't think crazy person throat slashing down a mine shaft wasn't.
Oh,
wow.
Jesus.
The Utah County Sheriff's Sergeant said, quote, "It's as bad as anything I've ever seen. They just seem like decent kids. They never did anything to deserve this." So they obviously arrest Baum. And the other thing they're thinking about, should we close this mine shaft up? Maybe.
Good idea.
But it's on private property. So
they'd have to do it.
They'd have to do it. The Chief Consolidated Mining Company is apparently the company that owns the land. So it's up to them, and they declined to comment. So I guess fuck it.
Not our problem.
Good place to toss a body down a fucking shaft, I guess. So in his jail cell, or in jail, once Baum's in jail, he has calls and visits here. And he visits with his sister, and he says this, quote, "They found the missing kids." And she says, "Good." And he says, "Yeah, well, it's not good because she took them to them." And the sister says, "Oh." So she knows what happened.
Yeah.
She said she took them to them. That's previously talked about.
She knows who she is and where they are.
He said, "Yeah, she's saying that fuck, I did everything because I fucking forced her at knife point and forced all three of them and fucked and she's trying to save her ass from going to prison." Okay. He told his sister that he's never even yelled at Morgan and never raised a hand to her and all that. She said, "She just turned on me, man." That's what Baum said. You just slit a teenager's throat in front of her and she gets all weird. Wow. Okay. He also said, "I actually don't think she knows some things, obviously. I don't think she did anything herself. I don't think she got it in her for that kind of shit." That's what Baum said. And the sister said, "No?" And he said, "Well, I mean, I do. Like, I mean, I could see it, but I see I don't. But I don't. I don't know. I'm just going by the way that I know that I've known her, and you know what I mean." I don't know what you mean. I have no idea what you just said. What I just read is what he said. Right. And the sister says, "You didn't know her, Jared. She's obviously terrible." And he says, "I know that. I'm just saying from I'm just saying from what I thought I knew. What I'm saying is I think there's other people involved and she's knowing it and she's part of that. You know what I mean?"
She's knowing it.
He's just trying to put it into the record that at one point he says, "Do you think that I would fucking put evidence by my house and stay anywhere near that fuck if I fucking whacked a couple of people?" And the sister says, "Well, I agree with that. Now it's just proving it to them." And he says, "That's just fucking insane. They think I'm stupid."
Yeah.
So they're going to seek the death penalty, but eventually the death penalty somehow, I guess the Riley and Breezy's family both said we want the death penalty.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's one of those. But for some reason, they don't. The death penalty's off the table here. It's pulled back. I don't know why. So we go to court. There's a hearing, and Morgan has to testify. She said, "I kept thinking I need to run. I need to get out of here. This is bad. I'm going to die here. But I couldn't move. I felt this intense guilt like this is happening because of me." So she will end up pleading to something, though. She has to plead to 10 counts of obstruction of justice. And she's sentenced to 3 years in prison for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just not do that. Right. Oh, little surprise. Jared has child porn when they search his shit.
Oh, Jared, it's over for you.
Fuck. Evidence uncovered here. Jesus. Prosecutors filed charges of sexual exploitation of a minor against him. Those charges came separately from the murder, obviously. The search warrant filed says that they found as many as 5 phones at his residence in January 2018, and a crime lab technician alerted investigators that one of the phones appeared to contain child porn. This is my kitty porn phone right here.
Wow.
This is for calling my girl. This is for calling my ladies on the side. This is my work phone. This is my kitty porn phone. This is my drug phone.
This is my jerk phone.
My jerk phone. Apparently, they said the phone contained images of young teens or tweens, not Addison or Powell, apparently around the ages of 13 or 14 years old and get involved in sex acts. In one image, 2 boys appear to hold down a girl while performing sex acts.
Jesus.
So, the charging documents say the phones belong to him. He's pretty fucked.
Yeah.
He pleads not guilty to murder here.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, he's not gonna fucking tell.
He wants to go to trial on this.
But the investigators are saying your tattoos are telling us everything we need to know. Apparently, according to those who know him, he considers his tattoos to be his, quote, records.
Yeah.
These records include headstones with the initials of people he's killed.
Oh, what a dummy.
That is not smart. They want to find out if he's added new tattoos. So they want a search warrant to photograph his tattoos to see if he's added Riley and Braylene to the whole mix here. So he said, just as Baum's Iron Cross may have documented, quote, bravery in battle for his involvement in any number of acts, he may have documented his killing of Riley and Braylene by way of tattoos as well. My training and experience and consultation with experts leads me to believe that there's a reasonable probability he's done so. They said there's a strong likelihood he may have recorded the deaths of Riley Powell and Breezy Addison in the form of another tattoo. So they're looking for this, right? They said that, quote, while listening to interviews of Morgan Henderson, I was made aware Mr. Baum had a variety of highly controversial tattoos depicting and documenting his ideologies and organizational principles. During these interviews, Morgan made reference to the swastika tattooed on his face. He's got a swastika next to his eye. It's on his fucking face. Jesus, perfect. You know exactly where to punch. Perfect. So, in another interview, Morgan said that Baum spoke about his tattoos as records. With specificity, she reported the tattoos, the headstones, symbolized people he'd killed. And Morgan stated that Mr. Baum did kill people and he was a, quote, tax man for illicit organizations.
So hot. Why does this man have a girlfriend?
It's insane. During the interview with Morgan, she also said that he took the ancient religion of Odinism, which is just white supremacy in America anyway, in prison, where worshippers embrace Norse and Viking figures like Thor and Odin. And he took that seriously, and he's been teaching her about it.
Oh, God.
Quote, Morgan reported that Mr. Baum drew runes and symbols on her naked body with her own blood.
Ew.
And that it was meant as a threat to bind them together. Morgan stated that Mr. Baum told her that if she left him, they would perform the ritual again, but it would be with someone else's blood. Okay. So, this is wild. They said, considering Morgan's age and stability, this had likely had a psychological impact and effect on her. They said that Baum used the runes as control measures through corrupt religious propaganda, fear, and violence. So, during the initial portion of the visit, by the way, he was showing his sister his tattoos. At one point, he said, quote, I got my little gravestones right here, and then he laughs.
Oh, boy.
Okay, according to the officials, here's some of the tattoos that are known of his that they need an update on, but the ones he has. Swastika on the right side of his eye. Runes on his back stretching from his left shoulder to his right shoulder. A, quote, unknown demon in the center of his back. A Viking or Nordic scene with an iron cross on the lower left side of his back. A swastika in the center of his chest. Documented patch member of the Aryan Republic militia, plus unknown writings underneath the patch. The word RAHOWA written across the front of his stomach. That's an acronym for racial holy war that has been used for a rallying cry for white supremacists. A swastika with 2 lightning bolts inside. As if the swastika wasn't enough, we need the SS symbol in there as well, plus a Viking hammer on his left torso. Quote, what looks like headstones and lettering on his left forearm. Investigators noted in the warrant there's probable cause to collect the photographs because of what we said. An iron cross in a circle and undecipherable writing around the cross on his right shin. Investigators noted in a warrant, quite simply, the wearer of this tattoo has been, quote, brave in a battle with an enemy race. They said that the warrant also says that he received this particular Iron Cross after participating in the brutal stabbing of the Blackman guy in the prison.
Yep.
Following the murder of Mr. Blackman, sources advised Mr. Baum was holding the murder weapon for inmate Troy Kell. He hid the weapon who perpetrated the murder. Reports from the Utah Department of Corrections indicate Mr. Baum gave inmate Kell the shank that he used to murder Mr. Blackman. Following that murder, inmate Kell gave the shank back to Baum. That would suggest that Mr. Baum had been brave in battle. So, yes. Also, Thor, or a man with a hammer on his left thigh, and World of the Church of the Creator patch with a 14/88 there, which is Heil Hitler
words.
and the fucking 14 words, and ruins on his left side. World Church of the Creator is a radical white supremacist organization. That's what the warrant says there. Obviously, the 1488's a hate symbol, 14-word slogan of white supremacists. 8 and 8 is HH, Heil Hitler. There you go. But several of the tattoos that investigators were not able to decipher, in part because they didn't have a clear picture on them, because they're shitty jail tattoos.
Right.
Yeah, they said they're working with FBI and Homeland Security members as well as corrections officials from other states to figure all this shit out. And they said all these experts indicated that many of Mr. Baum's tattoos demonstrate his adopted ideologies as well as document his history in going into and out of white supremacist organizations.
Incredible.
Jesus Christ. They said Mr. Baum treats and speaks of his tattoos as being records of past acts and violence. An updated record of tattoos newer than January of 2018 would support recent behavior, violent behavior, and produce additional evidence. So the trial. She testifies, Morgan, obviously.
Yeah.
She said that she covered up because she was growing. She said before this, she was growing tired of living with Jared Baum, and she was becoming more defiant, and then he made her do the blood ritual to bring them closer. She said that Baum took a knife and left a large gash on her arm. She claimed he told her he would do it again if she left. She said, that night I figured out what I was dealing with and who I was dealing with. I was in way over my head, and this person was extremely dangerous. I was not defiant anymore. I decided it was best to just do whatever he wants.
Unreal.
So,
he's such a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. She says that now the defense is saying that she can't be trusted because how do you distinguish reality from hallucinations? She has schizoaffective disorder, bipolar disorder, depression, and she doesn't take her medication all the time, and she does a bunch of mushrooms. So unreliable.
She's fucked up and unreliable, but she led them to where the bodies are, and he's the one capable of doing that shit, not her.
That's exactly what that tells me. So defense in the opening statement said that Baum's defense team told the jury he was not guilty of the murders. They said that, quote, the attorney said they rushed in before they finished doing their homework. The result is that Mr. Baum is now facing charges for something he didn't even do.
Okay.
At the same time they charged Jared Baum, roughly, they charged Morgan Henderson with obstruction of justice. Obstruction of justice is lying to officers who are investigating a case. It's not just one count. It's not just 2 counts. At one point, she was facing 30 counts of obstruction. So that means she did it. Okay. Wow. They said... They said no, that obviously they had all these recorded conversations with him and his sister and this one and that one and all of her shit that matches up perfectly with the physical evidence. It's, it's a lot. Closing arguments come on here, and prosecutors depend a lot on Morgan. She told a terrifying tale of this whole thing. Prosecutors say she was forced to watch the murder and, everything we talked about here. The county attorney said that Morgan was terrified to come forward, thought her life was in danger. Wow. So they said that she, quote, he takes a garrote, puts it around her throat, pulls it, and said the next time you think about crying about Riley, think about whether you want to ever see your son again.
He did that too.
I guess he did that. Now, the defense attorneys say she can't be trusted. She can't be trusted. They said she's a liar. Quote, the first one would be the lie she told the law enforcement officers. Second, the lie she told to the prosecutors. You've heard evidence from Morgan and Morgan alone that implicates Mr. Baum. Nobody else has presented any evidence, whether it's testimony, physical evidence, forensic analysis, nothing. Okay. That's it. So the verdict comes in, and they find him guilty of fucking everything.
They tried to say he said, she said?
Yes, he said, she said. Aggravated murder, aggravated kidnapping, desecration of a body, possession of weapon by a restricted person. In the sentencing, they want him to get the maximum sentence, which is 4 life sentences without parole.
Okay.
They said he's been given too many opportunities. Not only was his behavior predictable, it was predicted. 2 lives could have been spared if those predictions would have been given heed. His defense attorney said he's had a terrible life. His defense attorney went to elementary school with him. He knows him.
Okay.
And he said that he has memories of Baum targeted by classmates, and the odds were stacked against him. He said throwing a 15-year-old into prison is not an opportunity. Mercy is not something that anybody deserves. What we're asking for is a small modicum of mercy from the court. Does he deserve it? No, but that's what we're asking for.
Okay.
He then makes a statement.
Really?
Quote, I'm not a monster. I don't kill people. I don't know what else to say, but I'm sorry that those youngsters got killed, got murdered. I wouldn't have done it. I would not have done that. They were no threat. Judge says, well, neither are you anymore, and says this is the most violent, selfish, most senseless, the most disturbing thing he's ever presided over. He said, each day when you wake to see the walls confining you, and each night when you close your eyes to see the walls disappear, remember that these are privileges Riley and Breezy no longer experience because you murdered them. Because unlike your victims, you live to see another day. In allowing for a life sentence without the possibility of parole, the law shows more mercy to the defendant than he showed to either of them. You, sir, may fuck off life without fucking parole.
Good, because he did it for zero gain. There was
zero
nothing.
gain. Yep. So he tries to get a retrial in 2022. It doesn't work.
Good.
And fuck off, basically, is how that goes.
Stay in there for the rest of, I don't know, you're not going to live much longer. You're a fat old man.
Fucking eternity. You can be in there for eternity, and I don't care. I would like to say one thing here about, this is not about this story, but the last story we did, there's a book that a lot of the stuff was based on. This book is called Bitter Medicine, 2 Doctors, 2 Deaths, and a Small Town Search for Justice. Somehow it got lost in the shuffle. We were late on the last one. So that book by Carlton Smith, that is where we got a lot of good information for the last episode 399. With this, though, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed. We gave you an extra couple minutes because it's an extra crazy case, and it's episode 400. So fuck it. If you like this, if you've liked any of the last 400 episodes, get on whatever service you're listening on, whatever app, and please give us 5 stars. This is a good time to do it. It really helps the show out. So let's have a little 400 love for us, everybody, and do that. Also, shutupandgivememurder.com, August 12th, Chicago only live show we're going to do. It's going to be great. Few more. That's a lot of tickets are sold out except Chicago. We got DC is almost sold out. Atlanta, Dallas, Philly, Charlotte. That's it for these shows. Everything else is sold out for the live show. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Patreon.com/crime and sports. Bonus episodes, $5 a month or more. You get the whole back catalog, new shit every other week. This week is no different. This week for crime and sports, what you'll get, you're going to get players who like to pay for sex.
Yeah.
Let's find out where their dicks were out. It'll be hilarious. Okay. For Small Town Murder, Casey Anthony. No explanation needed for that shit. That is patreon.com/crime and sports. Definitely listen to your stupid opinions when it comes out. Whenever the fuck we get to release it. It's coming soon, and we goddamn promise. Do that. See us. Get a shout out at the end of the show if you donate on Patreon. That's nice. Follow us on social media at Small Town Murder on Instagram. You'll fucking find it. Or just go to Shut Up and Give Me Murder website. Tick, ding, boom, boom. Links. Get there. Thank you. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure for 400 episodes. If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer.
I can really show you how to make some money.
And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity, built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.